I love his phrase, black jobs. It tells a lot about the man and about his character. Folks, I know what a black job is. It's the Vice President of the United States.
Yeah, that black job is there to make sure no one dares question my seat in power, as of course the vice president is extremely unpopular. Well, come back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Radowski, here of youtube.com/We Are Change. As of course, there's a lot of crazy and absolute wild news to get into today, as we have more questions and concerns about the attempted life-taking of the former president of the United States, as his safety still is not guaranteed, as the current president of the United States is not doing that well. He is sick and soon might be replaced just within hours of now, as of course there are some major shakeups in this larger presidential election cycle that of course we told you was going to get absolutely crazy. And guess what? It's only going to get crazier from here. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played from the beginning of this broadcast is from the current president of the United States, as a lot of people are saying that Kamala Harris isn't even black herself. As Joe Biden once famously said, "You ain't black if you're not voting for him," as it looks like they're absolutely losing the black vote this year, according to all the latest poll numbers. I wonder why, as of course right now the Republican National Convention is happening here in Milwaukee. We are covering it on the ground, as already there was about 3 security incidences that really make you wonder what's going on here, as we just found out that an F-35 intercepted a plane with the help of NORAD. There was also a man with a mask found with tools of destruction around the venue, as a lot of people here are on edge, as of course the gloves are off for the establishment, especially when it comes to them dealing with the former president of the United States, as the current one is becoming more frail and weak, as we got new footage of Joe Biden walking very slowly off of Air Force One, pausing multiple times, as now he has been diagnosed with a sickness that was genetically engineered many years ago and released to the general public. A sickness that many people thought went away. A sickness that Joe Biden took a lot of medical procedures for in order not to get, that he just got again. Funny how that works out. He was like, you better take this procedure or else you're going to get it, Jack. And he got it, Jack. As Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are making some very grand statements about the current president and his future of actually holding that political office. Will he be able to? Well, there's rumors right now that he might be resigning as soon as this weekend, as there's also video of Joe Biden actually coming out allegedly sick and meeting and greeting a lot of different individuals, shaking their hands, sitting down next to them, taking selfies with them, hugging them, and sniffing them, as he's now being accused of being a, quote, super spreader, as his diagnosis came allegedly before this meeting. As Politico wrote that his diagnosis came at the worst possible time for his campaign, as literally the same day that he was diagnosed. He said if doctors tell him to drop out of this larger political race, that he would do it. As the President of the United States said that he's feeling good, as of course everyone knows that his campaign is theatering, as many people now, according to sources, are propping up Kamala Harris, one of the least liked politicians in American history, to run up against Donald J. Trump. As Axios has a very interesting article detailing how behind the curtains, top Democrats now believe Biden will exit. As of course, this is just one of many bad developments for the President of the United States, as the corporate media, along with very prominent Democrats like Chuck Schumer, the Clintons, the Obamas, are all leveraging their power behind the scenes, putting pressure on old Yeller, trying to get him to leave the seat of office, as there's more and more videos of showing Joe Biden just struggling to walk around or to even get into his own car. Although he has one loyalist, and that, of course, is Joy Reid of MSNBC, who compared him being sick to Donald Trump getting shot. Yeah, you heard that correctly. As the lunatic liberal is now branding that Donald Trump's attempt on his life was just, quote, a photo op, as truly we are hearing some very deranged perspectives from the corporate media, as, of course, your support for independent media is more important than ever. We've been fighting this fight for a very long time. We've been telling you guys what's going to be happening. We told you Donald Trump needs to assassinate proof himself within the last few days, weeks, and months, and that's exactly what happened. We got more troubling developments, and we're going to be talking about that specific story. But before getting there, check out LukeUnfiltered.com. It's our own quasi-secret, not-so-secret society, which you guys signing up is more important than ever. I usually do a lot of behind-the-scenes videos and exclusive videos specifically centered around helping you guys with the best information that we could provide for you that you could act on. This week has been a little bit crazy since I've been at the RNC. I've been doing live hits and live shows with almost everyone here. As of course, we will return to our regularly scheduled program next week, as I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos just for members behind the scenes here, showing you guys what it's like being at the RNC. Again, lots of crazy stuff here. It's been absolutely non-stop, and your support is more crucial than ever on LukeUnfiltered.com. I'm literally crashing on my friend's couch right now, so yeah, your support needed more than ever. The quick and easiest and simplest way to do that is to go to LukeUnfiltered.com. Click here to join for the tier that you are comfortable joining, and just put in your information. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and I will see you there right after this particular broadcast, as of course we have a huge amount of offers of value just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com, as of course there are still some legitimate questions and concerns, specifically about what just happened to the former president of the United States, as there was a major attempt on his life, an attempt that of course is being heavily questioned by everyone who's paying attention right now, as the corporate media is trying to even obfuscate the fact that this was an attempt on his life, and it's a major deal. It's a big deal, as of course a lot of very heated political rhetoric has led us to this very tumultuous moment in American history that is a very dangerous moment to be in. All of this as GOP senators have recently confronted the head of the Secret Service at the Republican National Convention, asking her very pointed questions, as of course we have reached a point now where politicians, elected representatives, are literally confronting the head of departments in order to try to get answers from them, which of course they're not getting.
This is exactly what we were doing today on the call.
You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump
Amazing to see, as of course the confrontation was a lot longer than just that before it. As now many U.S. representatives are accusing the U.S. government and the Secret Service of organizing a cover-up here, as they're saying their questions are being blocked, not answered, as there's a whole lot of them to what happened on that particular day where allegedly a lone gunman that was a loner, was very impressionable according to a lot of psychologists, no social media history, no real close relationship with his family, was able to outsmart one of the latest, greatest, most advanced, technologically superior intelligence agency? Yeah, frickin' right. As of course the Secret Service director says that the buck stops with me, as she's also blaming local law enforcement for this huge failure that a lot of people don't believe was a failure, but was a deliberate setup of the former president of the United States. As of course, there was also major stock shorts of Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media company, right before this attempt on his life, as a $1 billion asset manager short was put a day before the life of Donald Trump was almost taken away, as now we are finding out that allegedly this was a filing error that, quote, never happened, as we got a statement about this, as the story becomes more and more complex and confusing here, as of course that's one of many questions to what's really going on here, as it definitely does look like there are some people trying to profit off of the larger kind of political disarray inside of our country. As of course we're finding out that authorities knew for 3 hours of a very suspicious individual, literally using a rangefinder, figuring out distances to calculate the proper bullet drop in and outside of the venue hours beforehand. And yet, even though called into Secret Service, even though told that he was an individual that's unusual, that needs to be watched, was still able to get on police command headquarters and take now multiple shots on the former president of the United States, as there's even now speculation of potentially a second shooter, as a lot of people are saying, he was on the roof for 26 minutes with all of his tools that he brought with him, as of course Secret Service still allowed him to be on stage with a threat against him adjacent to him, and never pulled them off, even though they knew the situation was extremely dangerous as it was unfolding right in front of our eyes. Not just multiple failures, but in my opinion, absolute deliberate actions that were meant to take the life of Donald Trump. As an Army vet is coming out and saying that the shooter was, quote, in the perfect location to take the life of Donald Trump. As he is saying, the Secret Service excuse here that this was a sloped roof is an absolute lie, because it is. As hours ago, we also found out that the shooter's parents literally called authorities before this larger attempt on Donald Trump, notifying them that their son was missing, they couldn't find him, and they were worried about his whereabouts and actions, as of course the exact details of that call have not yet been released, only the generalized details that we of course shared with you just now.
Parents were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the texture or the details of their concerns. So in other words, well, were they worried that he had a gun? Were they worried? What were they worried about? Were they worried that he was going to try to attempt to kill a sitting president and then go ahead and turn into an assassin? And
yeah, important questions that, of course, still have not been answered. As, of course, we're also finding out that this young man also left a message on a gaming platform, according to sources, that said, quote, July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds, according to now 3 law enforcement sources that talked to ABC News. What does that message mean? As it definitely looks like he was an impressionable young man with no friends, that in my opinion probably was baited by an intel agency that was looking for 6 ways from Sunday from getting back against Donald Trump, that of course angered them severely during his presidency. Now again, there's a lot of people raising some interesting conspiracy theories here. And as of right now, we don't have a lot of information. The government is keeping a lot of the information to themselves. They are, in my opinion, investigating themselves and won't be giving any kind of accurate information to the general public. I think us being able to try to extrapolate as many clues, as many details, and trying to hold the government accountable here until they prove otherwise is something that is absolutely essential. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever. We got to get to the bottom of this, because the more that we don't, the more that Donald Trump and you are in absolute danger. That's my particular take on it. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. See you on lukeandfilter.com. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, and that's why I'm here on youtube.com/wearechange. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more.